to At America. My name is Aninda, one of the guests here in At America, and we are so glad to have you back here on this event. If you're new here, At America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Venetians to learn more about the United States. Continuing our previous session, on this event, we'll be having TOEFL iBT Intensive Course, Part 6 out of 6. In the meantime, how about we spice things up a little bit with a trivia? The question for today is: students can take the TOEFL IBT in the following ways except for: is it A, on computer at a testing center, B, on computer at home, C, on paper at a testing center, or D, on paper at home? Well, you can start typing in your answer on our social media because in the end of the event, we'll do a live shout out for those of you who can guess the answer correctly. Other than that, don't forget to take a selfie and tag at America's Instagram account. Without further ado, I would like to pass the floor to Kak Santika Salim, our advisor from Education USA at America. Kak Santika, the time is yours.
Thank you, Aninda. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today in the last session for TOEFL IBT intensive course. We thanks for sticking with me and Buhafil and our whole team for I don't know how many times you joined, but if you are targeting to get have an opportunity for the TOEFL voucher, then you must be at least by today you already attended. This is the fourth session for you. So yes, thank you for having the effort and commitment with us. And today I have a special announcement to make before that. So we have our new advisor, Christina, today with us. And because some of you guys probably joined us not from the beginning of the event, so you probably wonder what is Education USA anyway, right? So I will have Christina to tell us what Education USA is about, and then I will also tell you guys what is coming up on March. So stay tuned, and I will try to share the presentation from my end so Christina can focus on the presentation. All right. Hi, Christina. How are you doing?
Hi, Santika. I'm good. Thank you. Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? My name
So
is
yes, hopefully everyone is staying safe and during this time, and if you can, working from home and not going out if you don't really have to. But yes, I think we will be in a better place really, really soon. So yes. All right, so I'm gonna prepare the presentation here. Can you all see the presentation now? Okay, it's loading on my end.
Not yet. Still loading. Okay.
All right, the floor is yours, Chris.
Okay, let me start. So, what is Education USA? We are a part of US Department of State Network, atau basically kita adalah lembaga resmi di bawah Kementerian Luar Negeri Amerika Serikat. We currently have more than 400 advising centers in more than 170 countries. What we do as advisors is to offer accurate, comprehensive, current, unbiased information about the opportunities to study at accredited institutions in the United States. And we have thousands of universities in USA for you to choose from. To choose from, sorry. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Satika.
Yes,
Thank you.
it's the delay, sorry.
That's okay. So in Indonesia, we have 8 centers and 10 advisors, but 2 centers are currently inactive, as you can see here. In Jakarta, we have 2 centers, one in US Embassy and one in Pacific Place, where Santika and I are. And then we have one in Surabaya in Universitas Erlangga Unair, one in Malang in Universitas Muhammadiyah, one in Makassar located in Universitas Fajar, and the last one in Banda Aceh, Universitas Islam Negeri Raniri Aceh. Next slide. And feel free to contact any of these centers as you are comfortable with. You can go to calendly.com/educationusa Indonesia for the complete list of advisors. But for at America advisors, for me and Santika, we have our own link, and I will tell you about it later. Okay. And this is what we can offer to you. We have 5 steps to study to USA, but you don't have to start from the first one when you come to us for advice session. Many people actually come to us on step 2 and 3 as well. So don't feel pressured. We are here to help you wherever you are in any of these steps. Okay. So the first step, it's to research your option. Basically, know which major and universities you want to apply to. If not, maybe you can narrow it down to maybe top 5 or top 10 choices, and then you can come to us to discuss it. The second one is financing your studies. We also assist advices in the process of finding information about funding, such as maybe Fulbright or LPDP and other scholarships. The third one is to complete your application. You will deal with a lot of documents for each university requirements, and it might be slightly different. And it's gonna be including essays and CV and resume. Most of our advices would reach out to us to check our to check out their CV, resume, or essays. The fourth one, once you get the acceptance letter or LOA from the university, you need to apply for the student visa. Unfortunately, we cannot help you to apply the visa for you, but we are here to guide you step by step. And the last one is preparing for your departure. This is the last step. And this is actually a part of our annual event that's open for everyone. So even though you haven't reached step 4, but you're curious, you're more than welcome to join us in this event. And don't forget, all of our charges are free of, sorry, our services are free of charge. And on to the next slide. Santika.
Yes, I did press it. It's a delay, guys,
No,
so my
it's the
internet is not
internet.
that good.
Lately, it's been really bad.
Yes. It's
So
been a
please
few
bear with
days, and I think a lot of you also experience the same bad connection. Let us know in the chat box,
us.
just for fun. But yes, I just pressed it, and anytime soon. Oh my God, my connection dropped. So, team, can you
Ah,
help at America team? Can you help me to put the slides up on I think the one with the QR code? Thank you. So, Christina has been here for a month now, right? More than
almost 2 months.
almost 2 months.
Almost 2
Almost
months,
two
yes.
months. So the reason why I only introduced her now instead of like in the very beginning of our event is because I don't want to scare her. Some of you have maybe already met Christina in our Zoom advising session, but if not, then you will be able to meet Christina for one-on-one advising really soon. I think starting in March. So here you go for the how to.
Okay. So this is how to book advising session with Education USA at America advisors only, which is Santika or me. Use this link or scan the QR code, and you will be directed to our website. In the website, we'll have 3 options: 30 minutes introduction, CV or resume review, and essay review. Please read the instruction on the website, and we will be waiting for your appointment. And how the Calendly scheduling works. The calendar is basically open for 14 days from today. So if you check tomorrow, a new day will be open. Okay.
All right, next slide.
Right?
So I think this should be my part. Oh, not yet. Christina still.
Yeah, so if you have questions and you're not sure if you want to book a session with us, because it's going to be at least 30 minutes, and it's just like 1 or 2 short questions, you can email us at jakarta.america@educationusa.org. And Santika, please carry on with the next part. Thank you.
All right. So guys, this is also meant for those people who are very shy, who is, you're not comfortable in, not sure yet if you want to meet me or Christina in a Zoom for one-on-one, then you can just email us and let us convince you to come in this in front of you and everything, even though we are through screen these days, right? So yes, I encourage everyone to try to do the advising session instead of just emailing us, especially if you have, I don't know, like something to discuss with us. Okay. All right. So next slide. I'm going to announce our upcoming events. I'm sorry I don't have the poster ready as usual. As what we usually do, we put the e-poster instead of this wordings. It looks really boring, but bear with me. So we will have two events on March, at least two. I think I will open Instagram live, but that I will keep you posted. And everyone here, if you sign up for this event, we will email you on our upcoming events, and you can unsubscribe anytime you don't feel like receiving any more of that. Okay. So Friday, March 11, 6:30 until 8:30 in the evening, Jakarta time. It will be how to prepare CVs or resumes and letter of recommendation for US graduate admission. And then on Wednesday, March 16, same time, just different date. Writing a statement of purpose for US graduate admission. So as if you guys are not new here, you guys know that we usually have these two events as our monthly event, right? Usually we do this every month or at least almost every month. Maybe like the maximum was 2 months, once in 2 months if we didn't get to make it on every month. But I'm bringing it back with a lot of refreshments, hopefully, especially on the essay. So if you guys are applying for the fall 2023, especially for that enrollment, then I recommend you to come in to check it out, how it can help you to write your essay. And on the CVs and resumes and letter of recommendation, a lot of Asian students, not only in Asia, technically international students, and especially here in Asia, it is quite tricky to get letter of recommendation. So if you need to hear what we have to say or our tips, then you're very welcome to come in. And just also to know that you're not alone in the struggle to find letter of recommendation. All right. So these events, as usual, will be updated on our websites, at America websites and Education USA websites. So onto the next slide, you'll be able to see our website. Here you go. So educationusa.state.gov and at america.or.id/educationusa. So for the At America one, you can just go to at america.or.id and then find the events yourself. But if we use the /education USA, it is a dedicated tab for us. And then you scroll down all the way to the bottom and you can find our upcoming events there. All right. So next slide. Okay, so we are here in the part 6 out of 6 TOEFL iBT intensive course. And as I have mentioned before, we do have TOEFL iBT vouchers for those who are eligible for the opportunity to get the voucher. Okay, so I will brief you on the TNC, just a fresh reminder too, if you have done, if this is you are attending your 4th session right now and you intend to stay for at least 2 hours. I will explain the TNC very briefly so that it's also a reminder for you. Next slide. Okay, so here's the TNC. I'm sorry, the font is just blue on blue there. Technically, if this is your 4th session, or at least you have passed the eligibility for the attendance part, and if this is if today is your kind of like your last checklist for the attendance, then don't forget, all of you, don't forget to submit the bit.do/@America TOEFL, okay, by tonight 9 p.m. Jakarta time. So you can go to bit.do/America TOEFL, and all you need is to submit the form in the as complete as possible. You don't want to miss the part where you have to, let us know your US study plan. Okay. So that's just a general reminder. And all of this TNC you can find on the event page on the TOEFL event page on atamerica.or.id. Okay. So I do not expect emails that state that ask about the TNC and why you cannot get a voucher, how to submit the form and everything, because it is all here and it's very simple. All right. So after this, I think I'm done with my presentation, right? Thank you everyone for listening to our presentation, mine and Christina's actually.
Thank you.
And without further ado, I will call up Ibu Hafilia. Hi, Ibu.
Hi, hello, Santika. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hi, Ibu. Looking good. Bu,
Huh?
I just realized that your background is not a virtual background. And
No.
so when we were briefing today, guys, I was like, she was talking about reading books, right? So I'm like, oh, those books behind her are real. So Bu Hafil here is an avid reader. So if you guys want to ask tips on reading and maybe how it can help TOEFL, mungkin akan dibahas juga ya Bu today. That would be great. Okay, Bu. Into our lessons today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Santika. Very good morning to all of you. Okay, I think it was very shiny this morning. Now it's getting now I think the weather is getting cloudy. Okay. Well, anyway, since Santika and Christina already mentioned, yeah, this is the sixth session out of six. All right, meaning this is the last session. It does not mean, however, that this is the end, okay, of your studying, preparing for your TOEFL. Of course, we are just now embarking on in the beginning, okay, of your preparation, because what we have or what I have shared with you are tips, and basically they are the skills, the building skills that you all need to, of course, develop to be able to, of course, get the scores that are required. Okay, so I'm going to start with a review. This is a review on all the 4 skills that we have talked about. Okay, and so I'm going to start sharing my PowerPoint. Hold on a minute. And please let me know if something goes wrong with the connection, okay, Santika or Christina? Just shout so that I can switch to another operator, okay?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. So I'm going to share my desktop so it's easier for me to switch here and there. Yeah, so you see my slide. It's not in full view now. Is it in full view already?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, great. So this is the wrap-up session. And of course, we're going to talk about in details, right? An overview of what we have talked about. I'm sure you remember, this is the official, of course, the TOEFL logo now. That's with a T, with a green background. And the TOEFL consists of the 4 skills, which are reading, listening, speaking, and writing. We all remember how many reading passages there are. We also know that there might be one extra passage when we talk about the reading, right? And one extra lectures when we talk about the listening, okay? And one extra conversation, right? Also for the listening. And the purpose is actually from ETS, the makers of the TOEFL. It is for piloting purposes. That means that's a tryout. And what does it mean? Because it's a tryout for those passages, for those lectures and conversations that are tryout, whatever your answers are will not be counted towards your TOEFL, towards your total TOEFL score. Okay. Okay. You have the testing time there, and we all remember also that the score is 30 for each section. Yeah, and I think we started with, we did not go through as the test is sequenced, meaning that when you take the TOEFL, you will have the reading part or the reading section coming first, then go continue with the listening. And then you have a break. Yeah, you have a 10 minutes break. And afterwards, you go in again to the room in the test centers, and you can then continue with your speaking and writing. Now, that is the sequence. But when we discussed it, I am sure that you remember we discussed the writing, speaking first, or the two productive skills first, simply because those were the new skills in the TOEFL. Yeah. And I wanted you to be familiar with that right away. Okay. And we have not just the independent, but the integrated parts or tasks, both in speaking and in writing. So let's just continue. Today, I'm going to talk about how the test is sequenced or based or review based on how the sections are sequenced, right? So we'll start with the reading, continue with the listening, and then reviewing the integrated and the independent tasks for both skills, for both productive skills, which are the speaking and writing. Okay, great. So I'm sure you all remember this. Number one, what we all have to remember is that all questions are obligatory. What does it mean? It is mandatory. What does it mean? That means you answer every question because there is no penalty, yeah, except for if you have questions that is worth like 3 points, 2 points. Of course, if you do not answer all of them correctly, one question, some of the questions, remember, because you have choices that could be correct more than one choice, that means you get more than 1 point for those particular test items. Okay, try to answer, or since there's nothing to lose, yeah, so all questions are obligatory. No question is to be left unanswered. And remember that note taking is allowed. You will be given scraps of paper. The scraps of paper will be there on your desk as you enter the testing site. And certain strategies, and this is what we have been talking about, and I'm going to go in deeper with that. Certain strategies help tackle each section. Again, time management is the key. All right, remember that you only have 1 minute to talk, right? You only have 15 seconds to prepare what you're going to say. You have 20 minutes to write, okay, your opinion about something or your integrated skill writing task. You have, at the most, you will have 30 minutes. So you need to manage your time well. And I have been giving you this usually at the end of every session, right? Okay, since there is a war going on also, we're not going to talk about the real war. I'm sure some of you are, but that's good, yeah, because this is current events, right? So this is the time for you to expose yourself to news, okay, about what's happening in the world, right? And you will get a lot of vocabulary. You will be exposed to sentence structures, okay? And it's something current. Now, this, I'm not talking about the war that's happening, but I am talking about that we do have to have, okay, ammunition. And ammunition is what I mean. I always remind you, it's skills building. At the end of the day, it is your English that matters because assessment, the TOEFL assess your English abilities, your English skills as they will be used in the real life college later on. Okay? Now, we have the ammunition, which are, of course, the reading, listening, speaking, and writing. And we also have the strategies on how to use those skills. We do need strategies, okay, on how to use those skills when we are answering test questions. All right. So I'm going to talk about, of course, the skills building, which we mean is reading fluency. How do you become fluent in reading, right? How do you become fluent in reading? If you are fluent enough in reading, you will be able, of course, to answer these question types that is given in the reading. Okay, we have, just to remind you that we have 10 question types, all right? And I think in my slides, okay, at the time when I was talking about reading, it was like divided into different categories. But basically, this is it. Yeah. Basically, it's basic information and inferencing questions, and then reading to learn. Okay. Now, this is something that's challenging. Okay. The prose summary, then, and the fill in the table. All right. Okay. So you need the reading fluency. What we're talking about is you've got to build your reading fluency so that you will be able to answer all these question types. And how do we do that? How do we build our reading fluency? You learn reading by reading. Okay? Yeah. You read frequently, and the whole idea is reading frequently so that you will be exposed. The word exposed, you know, when before the COVID, before the pandemic, I was like wondering what is the word expose ya in bahasa Indonesia. But then I found out, oh, expose itu terpapar ternyata. Nah, mari kita memaparkan diri. Kalau ini kita harus memaparkan diri. Alright, we have to let ourselves be exposed. Okay, to vocabulary, to sentence structure. How are you going to be exposed to all that? Number one, read frequently. And what do you read? Read many different types of text in various subject areas. I think I've had questions during the course, right? When somebody or a few people here joining us in Zoom ask, what if I don't know about the topic? I'm not studying psychology. I'm going to study business management, okay? Something like that. And I said, it's not testing your understanding of that particular topic. It is not testing your knowledge or how much you know of that topic. It is assessing your reading fluency, your skills. Therefore, you need, of course, to expose again, familiarize yourself with the different types of text in various subject areas. Okay, we have social sciences, arts, business, right, and other, of course, texts that are academic style. Where do you get that? The internet, because we were just also talking before we started this, yeah, among ourselves here at America with the advisees. We were talking with the advisors. We were also talking about now people do not read books anymore, hard print materials. A lot of you are reading online. Fine. You can find all this in the internet. Remember, you have the National Geographic. Yeah, you have the National Geographic Channel, you have the National Geographic Magazine, you have the Discovery Magazine. Why? Because those are all science. When we talk about science, okay, the dinosaurs, the meerkats, remember the meerkat, right? Then you have them in the National Geographic, Discovery. And when we talk about business matters, we have them in the Economist, for example. And of course, you have journals online also. So expose yourself to this different kind of text, okay? You've got to feel excited about knowing something that you don't know. That's your mental framework. That's how you do it when you read. Now, so number one, read in meaningful chunks. And when you do read, you're going to read sentences, right? And I always remind you during the reading sessions that read in meaningful chunks. Most sentences in academic texts, of course, are complex sentences. What does it mean? It has clauses in them. It has phrases, okay? It's not a simple subject plus verb, yeah? But yes, subject plus verb, but the subject is a clause or a phrase. The verb is a verb phrase. The noun, the object is a noun clause. So let's remind ourselves how to read in chunks. It starts from the sentence level. Let's start from the sentence level. Okay, can you please tell me, everyone? Okay, number one, look at that sentence. The rent control laws may inhibit landlords from repairing properties is unfortunate but true. I'm not reading in chunks. I'm just reading words just now. Okay? So how do you make these words meaningful? How do you make it meaningful? All right. Can you tell me the subject? Remember that every sentence has a subject and a verb. Can you tell me the subject? And in academic text, subjects are never just one word. Okay? Okay. Can you please tell me the subject? Anyone wants to tell me what the subject is? Come on, guys. Okay. So I've got some of you already responding in the chat box that, wait. The subject is only rent control laws or that rent control laws? The subject is only rent control laws or that rent control laws? That rent control laws. Yeah. Okay, great. That rent control laws. Yeah. Why? Because remember, that is what we call a noun clause. Okay. That rent control laws. Is that the subject? Are you sure? Give me the whole phrase, yeah? So that rent control laws may inhibit. So what's the verb? Okay, some of you are saying may inhibit, some of you are saying is. Okay, come on. Don't get confused, don't get confused. Okay. Guys, come on. Is the subject only that rent control laws? Or is it longer than that rent control laws? Come on. It's longer than that? Okay, what's that? What is it then? What is it then? Come on, this is the structure of a sentence. What is it then? That blah, blah, blah until properties. Some of you are saying that now. Okay. So the subject of the whole sentence is actually the rent control laws may inhibit landlords from repairing properties. Panjang ya. Okay. And the verb is here. Okay. The verb is. Linking verb. Is, kenapa dia unfortunate but true. That's how you should understand that. That's why don't forget that this is part of the subject. Karena kalau kamu baca hanya rent control laws may inhibit, doesn't make sense gitu. Kamu hanya bisa lihat, oh rent control laws may inhibit. But this is that rent control laws may inhibit in bahasa Indonesia. Come on, you're all Indonesian, I'm Indonesian. So, sorry, in bahasa Indonesia, what is that? That rent control laws may inhibit landlords, blah, blah, blah. In bahasa Indonesia, how do you understand that rent control laws? That itu apa di situ? Okay, good. Bahwa, yeah. Okay, so we make the chunk. You know what a chunk? A chunk is a group of words, all right, and it's got to be meaningful, meaning that you have to separate the group of words, categorize it into meaningful chunks, meaning into the different parts or structure of a sentence: subject, verb, object, if there is an object. Okay? So you understand this, that rent control laws may inhibit landlords from repairing properties is unfortunate but true. Okay. Bahwa bla 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 bla, hukum. Oke, hukum apa? Rent control. Kenapa dia inhibit, limits ya? Limit siapa? Si landlords from repairing properties. Oh, bahwa bla 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 is unfortunate but true. There is this noun clause, that noun clause. Okay? Okay, number 2. A species of tomato is adapted to harsh climatic conditions. Okay? A species of tomato that is adapted to harsh climatic conditions has been developed. All right. Jadi, come on. What is the subject? A species of tomato sampai dengan conditions. Good. Now you're getting it. Yeah. A species of tomato that is adapted to harsh climatic conditions. Kenapa si species ini has been developed? You got that? Okay. Is there any adjective clause? Ada adjective clause-nya loh di situ. Where's the adjective clause? Which starts with that is adapted, right? So be careful that in that, number 1, that rent control is a noun clause. And that noun clause, namanya juga noun. Fungsi noun itu sebagai apa in a sentence? It could be a subject. It could be an object. Gitu kan? Makanya dia namanya noun clause. Because of the function. Okay? Nah, the second one is that is adapted to harsh climatic conditions is not a noun clause. Is it a noun clause or an adjective clause? It's an adjective clause. Why is it an adjective clause? Look, kan sama-sama ada that. We use that too. Yes, but. Look at the function. Is the function that is adapted to harsh climatic conditions, is the function as a noun or is the function as an adjective? As an adjective because it modifies, some of you already realized that, because it modifies the tomato, the species of tomato. Okay? You got that? Clear. Number 3, a track leading into the ancient city of Petra follows a mile-long canyon that ends in front of an impressive temple carved out of the sandstone cliffs. Okay, so where is the subject? The track, blah, 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 blah. Okay, until temple. The track leading into the ancient city of Petra. Wait. Nah. Wait, guys. Wait. Coba deh, make sense nggak if you say, the track leading into the ancient city of Petra follows a mile-long canyon that ends in front of an impressive temple. Terus si track ini ngapain? Yang track yang bla 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 itu verbnya carved. Gitu. Si tracknya verbnya carved. Ayo, think again. No. Ya, so verbnya apa dong? The verb is follows, right? Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Now you are reading. And your reading fluency starts with this. This is the very basic reading fluency that you will need. How do you build that fluency? How do you get better? Read. You've got to read sentences, long sentences, and then understand. Hah? Ini kita lagi ngomongin apa? The track leading into the ancient city of Petra. Oh, kenapa si track ini? Follow. Follows apa? A mile-long canyon that ends in front of an impressive temple carved out of the sandstone cliffs. This time, it is not the subject that's wrong, but the object that is wrong. Okay? Objeknya yang panjang. Dia follows apa? A mile-long canyon. Gitu kan? Sebetulnya tinggal itu aja. A mile-long canyon. Si canyonnya kenapa? That ends in front of an impressive temple. Si temple-nya kenapa? Carved out of the sandstone cliffs. You get that? Yeah. Complex sentences. And this is typical of an academic text. It's very concise gitu loh. Concise, singkat, but very compact. There are so many information in just one sentence. This is a typical academic structure. Ini banyak loh. There's so many information that we get from here. The track. Which track? Leading into the ancient city of Petra. Leading into the ancient city of Petra modifies the track. Tapi dia nggak pakai which is leading. That is leading. Because of that, it becomes a phrase. Ya. Diilangin itu that-nya sama which-nya. Oke? Okay? Kenapa si track ini? Follow, mengikuti. Oke. Okay. Follow apa? A mile-long canyon. Udah, sebetulnya sampai di situ. Tapi the author, the writer, gave you more information about a canyon. Si canyon ini ends in front of an impressive temple. Okay. Si temple ini carved out of the sandstone cliffs. Jadi kalau saya tanya yang carved out of the sandstone cliffs itu apa? What is carved out of the sandstone cliffs? Is it the track? Is it the canyon? Or is it the temple? Yeah. Okay. Got it? Ya. Lama ya, satu kalimat aja mesti ngertinya lama banget. Padahal kita harus selesai dalam waktu yang sangat cepat. That's because you do not read a lot. That is why, again, we go back to read a lot, read frequently. So you will familiarize yourself with that. Okay, great. Number 4. Hundreds of pandas starved to death when one of the species, okay, one of the species, hold on a minute, the chat box is blocking my view. Okay, when one of the species of bamboo on which they feed died out. So what are we talking about? What is the subject? Are we talking about bamboos? Are we talking about what? Pandas. Okay. How many pandas are we talking about? Hundreds of pandas, right? What happened to them? Verb. What happened to them? Starved. Okay, they starved to death. How come? When one of the species of bamboo on which they feed died out. Okay, you get the idea? Yeah. So pandas cannot live if they don't have the species of bamboo. Okay, now let's go to the next one. All right, number 5, and this is an adverbial clause. When do pandas die? Or when do pandas starve to death? Right? When one of the species of bamboo, yeah, on which they feed on died. Okay, next. So that's the adverbial clause, to starve to death, because you're talking about starve. You're not talking about the pandas. You are giving more information here. The sentence is giving more information about starve to death-nya. Ketika, itu kan, when. Okay, that's an adverbial clause. Right. Number 5. Go ahead, guys. Number 5, please. What about number 5? When building Hadrian's wall, the Romans erected towers about every mile. Nah, ini what is the subject? The Hadrian's wall or the Romans? Very clear. The Romans. What did the Romans do? Verb. Erected. Erected what? Towers about every mile. Right? Yeah. They erected towers about every mile. Kapan itu? When they built, sebetulnya gitu kan? When they, alright, when they were building Hadrian's wall. Tapi D-nya tidak disebut lagi di sini. That's why it becomes a phrase. When you put the subject in, it becomes a clause. Okay, got it? Yeah. Yeah. Now, these are the types, these are the things that you need to do when you build your reading fluency. Number 1, it starts with reading in meaningful chunks. You break the sentences into, so it becomes meaningful. All right. Okay. Now, reading fluency also means that you read actively, interact with the text. If you see the text, ask yourself questions about that text. Okay, what is the text about? What is the topic of this paragraph that I'm reading? What does it say about the topic? Is there a main idea? What's the main idea? What's the message of this paragraph about the topic? Is there a claim? And how are these main ideas or claims, how are they supported, right? And how is it organized? Yeah? Okay, we're going to practice after this. But you also need to remember practice scanning. That means when you're looking for details, we scan. We only look for words in the passage, right? That that you're looking for to be able to answer questions. To scan, you just look quickly, okay, and try to find words that will answer usually detailed questions. Skimming is, remember, content, gist, remember gist content, gist purpose, remember that. In listening, we have that, and also in reading, yeah? So skimming is just getting the idea, getting the idea, the main idea of what the passage is about. You do not need to read everything, but you know the big picture. That is skimming. That is gist. Guessing meaning from surrounding words. Okay? As you challenge yourself, reading other topics, reading texts that are not familiar to what you are at present studying or to what you are at present doing, you're going to challenge yourself, right? With a lot of vocabulary, which you may not know. And therefore, you need to guess the meaning in the same, from the words, surrounding words in the same sentence or in other sentences. Okay, That's also a skill that you have to do when you're reading. And based on what you understand, you draw conclusions or making inferences. Remember that inferences are based on facts that are there, right? But it is implied. Tersirat. Okay, let's practice. Now, let's practice now. Interact with the text, right? First of all, we need to understand, okay, this is a very short text. I'm going to give you time, just 1 minute to read that. Okay, now you need to make connections, right? You need to interact with the text. So the question is, who's they in that passage? What do you think? Who is they? Who is they in the passage? Yeah. The men and women? The brains of men and women? Okay, so you're talking about brains or men and women? Brains. Okay. You're talking about the brains. Yes, yes. Whose brain? Yeah, the men and women. Okay. Brains of men and women. But they-nya itu bukan hanya the men and women ya. They-nya, we're talking about the brains. Okay. So, if this comes out, then you will know that the answer is C. All right. Okay, yeah. When you're reading magazines, National Geographic, when you're reading The Economist, all right, about an article about, I don't know, about something, management, business, the pandemic, maybe, social situations in different parts of the world now, financial situations, you will not have these questions kan ya. Kan nggak ada questionnya. That's why you need to interact. You need to ask yourself, ini D-nya D yang mana sih? It-nya it's apa? That's what we call referent words. Remember? Right? And this becomes very important because, again, of the length of the sentences in a typical academic text. So the answer is C. Yeah? Okay. Now, interact with the text. That text was pretty easy to understand, right? Even though we are not neurosurgeon, okay? We didn't study neurology, but that was pretty easy. Now, this one is a bit, I think it's a bit challenging, okay? Because it's talking about arts, applied arts, and fine arts. So when we interact with the text, when we interact with the text, we would like to know what is the text about. What is the topic of the paragraph? What does it say about that topic? How is this supported? And how is the information, okay, the topic, the main idea, the supports, how are they organized? Okay. Okay. I'm going to give you, let's just time you 2 minutes, yeah, because it's quite a very compact paragraph. Yeah, I'm just and full of information. It's challenging for me because I didn't study arts, all right? So let's try to read this in just 2 minutes, shall we? I'll give you 2 minutes. I'll tell you when the time is up, all right? Okay, go ahead. And try to answer the questions as you read. Okay. Hello, can you still hear me? Santika, can you still hear me?
Yes, Ibu.
Okay. Am I okay?
Yes.
Because it shows on my laptop that my connection is somewhat unstable. So I'm okay, yeah? All right.
You're
Okay,
good.
great. Thank you. Okay, guys. So what is this paragraph? Okay, what is this paragraph about? There you already have the title, right? Applied Art and Fine Arts. So this paragraph is about which one? Okay, somebody already said this is the definition of applied arts, not fine arts, right? Okay, good. It's about applied arts. All right. So what do you know about applied art? What is the topic? What is the topic? Come on. Okay, this is about applied arts. So what do you know about applied art? That applied arts, what is the specific definition of applied arts? It is based on what? Okay, good. Thank you. I think one of you already answered. Yeah. Okay. For the rest of you who are in Zoom, you can see what your friends are answering. Art, which can be, okay, arts that are categorized to be functional. That is applied art. Okay, good. So we look at applied arts because of the function. Okay. And what is usually, and so because of the functions, right? What happens then? It depends on, so that means, for example, it is, what does it mean when it says that it is bound? Can you see this sentence? Can you see my cursor? My cursor says my cursor is pointing now. There is no way around the fact that containers, shelters, and supports must be functional. That means that, yeah, because applied arts are divided into simple categories such as containers, shelters, and supports function. Because of that, it's got to be whatever that it produced when somebody makes applied art, it is bound, okay? It is limited by the laws of physics, which pertain to both the materials used in their making and the substances and things to be contained. So, these laws are universal in their application, regardless of cultural beliefs, geography, or climate. If a pot, the name is already a pot, has no bottom, okay? If a pot has no bottom, then it cannot be called a pot because the function of a pot is a container, meaning that it's got to be able to contain, it's got to be able to hold substances like water, maybe liquid, yeah, or maybe uh, sand, maybe food, right? Okay, so if a pot has no bottom or has a large openings in its sides, it could hardly be considered a container from the function. That's what we mean. It's bound, okay, by the laws of physics. Since the laws of physics, not some arbitrary decision, have determined the general form of applied art objects, they follow basic patterns. Nah, D-nya itu siapa di sini? Since the laws of physics, blah, 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 have, or not arbitrary decision, have determined the general form of applied art objects, they follow basic patterns. What is the day there? Can you tell me? Mm-hmm. The objects, the applied art objects. Okay, good. Yeah. So they, where can you find the day there? They, right? You can find that form of applied art objects, right? Good. Yeah. So, so much so that functional forms can vary only within certain limits. Buildings without roofs, tadi kan ada shelter juga selain container. Buildings without roofs are unusual because they depart from the norm. Okay. However, not all functional objects are exactly alike. That is why we recognize the Shang Dynasty vase as being different from an Inca vase. Where is the difference? The difference is not on the function, but it is primary. The difference is not on the function, yeah, because the object's primary function is the same, a vase, right? But it is due to the very, it's not the basic form, but the incidental details. Maybe the Shang Dynasty vase has a different ornaments, different decorations, could be different shapes than the Inca vase. Okay, you got the whole idea now? So interact with the text. As you read, interact. Ask yourself questions. What is this talking about? Oh, applied art. Okay. And What about applied arts? What does it say about applied arts? That applied arts are bound uh, to the law of physics, right? And they are divided into three categories: containers, shelters, support. Sorry, containers, shelters, and support. And then look at how the organization of this information here in the paragraph. This is the general idea here. And then you have the support, right? Example, if a pot has no bottom or has large openings, that is the support, and that is the example. So you have the general idea first in the first few sentences, and then it is then developed into the detail. Support with example. Okay? Okay. That's how you interact with the text. Now, it is not just the development, all right, or how the information is organized in one paragraph. Because remember, you're going to read like 3 to 4 paragraphs in your in your TOEFL reading, right? And so you also need to make the connections. Now that you got the connections of the information, how the information is related to one another, how the information is being organized, right? In one paragraph, you also have to understand the connection between one paragraph and another. And usually we look at the last, whoops, usually we look at the last sentence of the paragraph, the previous paragraph, to understand what's the next paragraph is going to be about. Because there must be a connection between the last sentence of the previous paragraph with the first sentence of the next paragraph. What varies is not, so if we look at the last sentence of the paragraph that we just read, what varies is not the basic form, but the incidental details that do not obstruct the object's primary function. Itu kan? Okay. Jadi, the next one is sensitivity to physical laws is thus an important consideration for the maker of applied art objects. Yeah, it is often taken for granted that this is also true for the maker of fine arts objects. This assumption misses the significant difference between the two disciplines. Okay, because we're talking about primarily the function here and how the laws of physics limit the creation of applied art objects. Now we're talking about then, okay, that laws of physics. And it goes on and on talking about how the laws of physics, all right, are affect or influence, right, the fine art objects. Kalau fine art objects gimana? Are not constrained by the laws of physics in the same way that applied art objects are. Because kalau si applied art tadi functional, the fine art object, okay, they are only limited in terms of the materials used to make them. So when we talk about fine arts, they are limited to the materials that they use. And then it goes on, of course, as details. Yeah, examples. So this is talking about, now you're getting the idea. Oh, the structure of the passage, now I'm getting it. The first paragraph is talking about applied art and how the law of physics bound the creation of applied art objects. Second paragraph now is talking about the laws of physics, how, okay, how it affects the making of fine art objects. Is it the same or is it different? Then it will be discussed in the second paragraph. So you're getting to see the flow of how information is organized about applied arts and fine arts. Okay? Yeah. So this is what we are doing. Again, when you're studying for the TOEFL, there will be questions. But when you are building your reading fluency, when you're developing your reading fluency, there won't be any questions that comes after you read an article. Therefore, you need to ask yourself these questions. Okay. Now, those are the building skills. That's how you build your skills. Your ammunition. Remember the missile, the guns. Okay. Now we're talking about the test taking strategy, right? Do we read only, do we go straight and read the questions? No. Read the entire passage first. Why? Okay. Why? Because you've got to get the whole idea. Remember, we're just talking, we just read 2 paragraphs out of, I think, 4 of applied arts and fine arts. That's not the end. Yeah, but I'm not giving you the whole. So when we read the entire passage, why will it save you time? A common misconception is that when I read the whole thing, it's going to waste my time. Actually, it's not. Why not? Because by understanding, okay, the structure of the whole essay, what the first paragraph is talking about, how is the first paragraph related to the second? How is the first, the second related to the third? If you get the gist, itu ya, when you read the entire passage, you're skimming, actually, skimming, gist. You will get a good idea later on for answering the prose summary or chart questions. Remember, in the TOEFL iBT, usually you have 10 questions that follow, and usually it's the 9 and 10 question that refers to learning to learn, which is prose summary chart question. Now, you will actually save time, because if you're just reading and you do not understand, if you're just reading like the first paragraph and then answer questions in the first paragraph, read the second, answer questions in second paragraph, you will then, by the time you get to 9 and 10, yeah, question 9 and 10, you're going to go back again here. Okay. So you're actually saving time because you will get a pretty good idea. We did that last time during our session, right? Ini maksudnya. Nah kan akhirnya, gitu kan, applied arts itu yang mana ya? You have to choose 3 from this statement. You have to choose 2 about fine arts from this statement, right? Nah, yang nggak bisa tuh saya baca paragraf yang mana? To read the whole thing. I bet you if you're reading like what we were reading about the fine arts, about the applied arts, I bet you know already, you know some of the answers here. Okay, okay. You can go back, but if you're not sure, you can go back, but you know at least which paragraph to go back to and not have to go through all, find the paragraph. All right, okay. You also need to read the entire passage because there will be questions like this. This is a typical question number 9 or 10. Yeah, this is the if you were like making a summary, itu kan. Remember that a summary contains only the important information, not the detail. Yeah. Okay. Use context clues. Remember ya about context clues. Nah, ini hati-hati because coba deh take a look. 1, 2, 3. Timothy scowled when he saw the dent in his new car. Which number, yeah, which numbers do you think give you context, give you a complete context of what the word scout means? Can you tell me? Which sentence or sentences, 1, 2, 3, gave you a clear context of what the word scout means? Can you tell me? 1, 2, or 3. Clear context. Number 1 is clear. Okay. For those of you who answer that number 1 is clear, that means you know what the word scout means. What does the word scout mean for number 1? Is it something positive or negative? Gitu aja deh. Kalau nggak tahu persisnya. Itu dulu kan. That first. Positive or negative? It's negative. So what do you think? Is it a feeling? A negative feeling? A negative what? What do you think about Timothy? How does he feel? It's a negative feeling. Okay, what kind of negative feeling? Unpleasant feeling? Yeah, unpleasant feeling because the angry feeling maybe? Okay, unhappy feeling maybe? Good. Because you will be able to do that if you understand the word then. Yeah. Each of you are different in terms of your vocabulary ability. For those of you who don't understand the word then, itu kan, if you don't understand the word then this is still going to be like clueless clue. Sebetulnya kan, ini mestinya the clue, right? But if you don't understand the clue, ya jadi clueless clues dong. Ya enggak? Ya? Okay. If you don't understand the word then kali kalau kita harus cari-cari gitu, di mana ini, okay, this context will give you a better idea. This is what I mean by sometimes you need to also look at other words, other sentences. Yeah. Timothy scowled when he saw Aunt Mary. Whenever she came to visit, pleasant family conversations turned into angry family feuds. So, berarti he is unhappy. Masih begitu kan ya? Masih begitu ya? You're still talking about feeling ya. Kalau saya kasih konteks sebenarnya ada di sini. Scowl came over Timothy's face when he saw Aunt Lauren. Whenever she came to visit, pleasant family conversations turned into angry family feuds. Ternyata ada kalimat lagi setelah itu. His look of displeasure deepened when he noticed that she was carrying an overnight bag. So is scowl a feeling or is it an expression, a facial expression? Look at the context here. So is it just a feeling or it is, expression, a facial expression. Beautiful. Okay, got it? Yeah. This is what we mean. Sometimes we are not able to really pinpoint the meaning because there is not enough context. Gak apa-apa. Yang penting kamu tahu gitu loh. Ini negatif, ini kayaknya nggak seneng. Nah, nggak senengnya itu dalam bentuk apa? Unhappiness in what sense? Feeling atau facial expression. Kalau sudah dikasih begini baru keluar. Oh, facial expressionnya ya. Oke, got it. Oke, ya. So these are just take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of this because this is the strategy. Read the passage first if you are familiar with the topic. Kadang-kadang, oh psychology saya tahu. Saya dulu master in psychology. Ya udah. But you still need to read the passage. Why? Because sometimes there are new information, different information than what you already have. Read the passage even if you are not familiar with the topic. Questions test your reading fluency and not your knowledge of the subject matter. Karena kita bisa membaca dengan baik, reading we are fluent, we now understand about applied art. Itu kan? Ya. Yeah. That's because of our reading fluency. So that we will understand topics that are not familiar. Jangan dibalik ya pemahamannya. Kita nggak tahu topiknya, jadi kita bisa nggak ngerti. No. Kita nggak bisa baca, makanya kita nggak ngerti. Kalau kita bisa membaca dengan baik, we are fluent, we can understand. Sometimes it'll be harder because it's a topic that's unfamiliar. Sometimes it's easier because the topic that is familiar. Itu aja sih. Tetapi pemahaman tetap loh. We can still understand because of your reading fluency. Okay? Read the question and try to answer all questions in one particular order, meaning that sequence, yeah? Why? Because if you're stuck in one and you're stuck number one, you go to number two, you will need to go back again to number one and then refocus. Tadi nomor satu gimana? And then you refocus and which can distract you. And you will be, what is that? Losing time. Okay? Boleh di skip, boleh. Tapi ingat, if you know already the answer, kayaknya answernya ini deh. Then you just think about it. All right? It's better for you to go one by one. Okay? Nah, sekarang listening tidak jauh from the reading questions actually, right? If you look at the listening question types that we've gone through, it's the same, almost the same as the reading. Comprehension, gist, purpose, details. We also have here, all here, rhetorical purpose questions, right? Inference, we also have inference here, okay? Yeah, pragmatic understanding, remember that from last week? Attitude, tone, and then connecting information questions. That's again understanding organization. That's almost the same, right? When they are asking you, the test asks you about the prose summary and fill in the table. That's the same thinking skills that you are required to do when you're doing this on the listening question type. Understanding organization and connecting content. Okay? Okay. What will help you? Okay, sorry. Yeah. I just want to say, wait. I need to, hold on. Right. Sorry about that. Okay. So again, if reading is reading frequently, then listening is listening frequently. But this time you're listening for vocabulary, expressions, right? Pronunciation, intonation, and attitudes, pragmatic understanding. Remember? Okay. Listen to different types of subject areas, right? Again, you have the CNN, you have the BBC News, National Geographic has a channel, Discovery has a channel, and you can listen to their podcasts, their reporting, their research, all right? And we have Voice of America. Yeah, look it up. That's a broadcast, Voice of America. Okay, so these are all your resources. Just like reading, listening also requires you to take notes, reminding you of that. Nah, ini ada strateginya tapi ya, yang perlu I remind you. Alright? Listen, take notes, enjoy. You cannot attack a reading text or listen to a lecture if you have that barrier already. This is your mental metacognitive state. If you're already worried, if you say, oh my God, why is it about arts? You just look at the title and you already make that kind of, what is that? Perception, all right? It's going to suggest negative things and it's going to block your brain, okay, from thinking. Enjoy. As you enjoy, you do all this, right? This is similar to interact with the text. This is interacting with what you listen to. Nah, this is what's important. Move on. Belum bisa move on. Harus bisa move on if you're talking about listening. When you miss something, ya udah, move on. Meaning, don't try to, what did he say? What was he saying? Apa tadi ya? Was it feed atau feed? Apa? Okay. Do not dwell on the past. Focus on the present because you've got to listen to what you're listening at the moment, taking notes, and you will then prepare for what's going to come next. This one is an important strategy. Let go. Itu ya. Okay. Now, you have this, right? And usually in conversations, kalau lecture kan hampir sama ya dengan reading. It's going to be mind map, all right? Outlining, okay? But in conversations, remember that usually people go to service centers, service encounters. Maksudnya pergi ke housing, building, housing, or housing staff, okay, because they have problems, they have inquiries. Students go to their professors, professors call their students because of course, a problem. And therefore, there will be solutions that you hear. And your mind mapping will be different, or note-taking template will be different, which is this one, okay, for listening to conversations, right? Okay, yuk, mari kita practice first. All right, let's take a practice just quickly. This is very easy, very easy. So you should be able to answer this very quick.
Hi. Do I need to purchase a meal plan?
Are you a freshman?
Yes.
Then yes, you must. That's our policy.
Oh, but I'm allergic to dairy products. So, I mean, I don't know if there are, like, any meals that I'll be able to eat. Does this mean I'll also have to buy food off campus then?
No, not unless you want to. Dining Services offers dairy and non-dairy meals for all students every day.
Oh, really?
Yes, we offer soy milk. And we also have soy-based products at every meal, like tofu, so you don't have to worry.
Wow, that's great. This is totally the opposite of my high school meal plan.
We try to meet the needs of the different groups of students on our campus. We even have special meal days that feature foods from different countries. So international students also get a taste of home.
Great. Can I pay now?
Yep, I just need your student ID number.
Oh, I forgot my ID in my room. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Okay, guys, remember that you are not going to see the question as you hear this conversation. In the real test, you're not going to see the question as you hear the conversation. You will hear the conversation and then you will see the question. Okay? Meaning you have to take notes. Itu kan? Because this is easy. All right, this is easy. I'm sure that you understood. I'm sure that your note taking was very simple and you will be able to please answer number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 1, yep. What does the employee imply? And these are questions, making inferences questions, yeah? Okay. What does the employee imply about the university? Nomor 1 dulu, yuk. B, 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 B. Okay. So it is
Hi. Do I
oops,
need to
sorry,
purchase a meal plan?
Or
click that by mistake. Okay. B, it requires all freshmen to purchase a meal plan. All right. The answer is B. Not C, not D, not A. Ini imply loh, imply. Come on, come on, come on. B? The answer is B. Because most of you answered B, so I said, all right, the answer is B. Are you sure? It's not A. And why not A? Why not C? Why not D? Eliminate, eliminate. Yuk, ini test taking strategy sekarang. Eliminate. Does the campus have lots of dining places on? Does it have lots of dining places on campus? Ini implied ya, implied. Yang tersirat dari pembicaraan tadi. What is the difference between question number? Oh, sorry. It should be only number 1 and 2. Yeah, sorry. Just number 1 and 2 and not number 3, okay? That's just a repetition. Come on. Okay, so somebody said it's C, not B. Okay, so people now are changing. C, not B. Because it talks about the diversity in meals. Ya, imply. Kalau imply itu berarti tidak stated, yang tersirat. Okay? Because, coba dengerin lagi. Nanti realnya nggak bisa didengerin lagi loh ya. Okay, that's why take notes, take notes.
Hi. Do I need to purchase a meal plan?
are you a freshman?
Yes.
Then yes, you must. That's our policy.
Oh, but I'm allergic to dairy products. So, I mean, I don't know if there are like,
Coba deh. Itu implied atau tadi tuh, must I purchase a meal plan? Are you a freshman? Yes. Then you must. Itu implied atau explicit? Explicit kan? Ini pertanyaannya implied loh. Kalau itu jelas-jelas memang harus beli meal plan. Right? Nah, yang implied apa jadinya? Coba, then we continue listening.
meals that I'll be able to eat. Does this mean I'll also have to buy food off campus then?
No, not unless you want to. Dining Services offers dairy and non-dairy meals for all students every day.
Oh, really?
Yes, we offer soy milk. And we also have soy-based products at every meal, like tofu, so you don't have to worry.
Wow, that's great. This is totally the opposite of my high school meal plan.
We try to meet the needs of the different groups of students on our campus. We even have special meal days that feature foods from different countries. So international students also get a taste of home.
Great. Can I pay now?
Yep, I just need your student ID number.
Oh, I forgot my ID in my room. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Okay, so the bigger portion of the conversation is actually talking about the meals, the different kinds of meals. Yeah, okay, great. Sorry. Yeah, all right. So the answer is C. Number 2, what does the student imply about her high school meal plan? Did she say anything about her high school meal plan? Which one? She wasn't required to purchase one. It did not offer non-dairy products. It was not very expensive. She really liked it a lot. Which one? Come on, this is easy. Yeah. B, D, B, B, B. Wait. Yeah, it doesn't offer. It's a bravo, yeah. Bravo, yeah. Okay. It doesn't offer. So sorry. It doesn't offer any non-dairy products. Okay. Number 3, disregard that because that's just a repetition. Okay. Now we're going to move on. Okay. So yeah. So basically that is the reading and the listening. All right. Okay. Remember, inference question is what can you infer from what is not stated? Gitu loh. Okay. Now, skills building, independent or independent speaking or writing. Now we go to the independent speaking and writing. So I'm putting the two together and classifying it based on independent and integrated. Okay. So if we look at the how do we develop our skills, yeah, in speaking as well as in writing, so that we would be able to, of course, do these tasks. Remember that in the independent speaking task requires you to agree or disagree with a statement, but that is sometimes. Most of the time, though, it's going to be a paired choice, right? It's going to be, you have to decide between two possible actions, situations, or opinions, right? So these are the following prompts. All first-year college students should be allowed to live off campus. Agree or disagree? Or they're going to ask you something like, should first-year students live in dormitories, on campus, or off campus? Remember that? We did that, yeah? For those of you who joined the session for the for the speaking section. Okay. Now, in the independent writing task, all right, it's purely an opinion. But again, an opinion based on whether you agree or disagree. So they're going to give you a prompt. They're going to give you a statement usually. Remember the statement? Always telling the truth is the most important consideration in any relationship. We talked about that. Respond to a question sometimes. Is honesty an important quality for a leader? You can say yes, you can say no. Yeah? Okay. So remember that both for the independent speaking as well as writing test, remember that you have to first state your stance. Yes, I agree. No, I don't agree. Okay? I think first year students should live in dormitories. Honesty is absolutely the foremost, okay, important character in a leader. State your stance from the very beginning. Okay? Then right? You have to follow those stands with reasons and examples. That's the same when you're giving it orally as well as when you're doing it in writing. Here, reasons and details, specific reasons and examples to support your opinion, to support your choice. Okay? And look, no right or wrong answer. It doesn't matter. We don't care. You agree or disagree. We do not care about that. What we care about is how you present your opinion, right? How well you explain your choice by supporting it with reasons and details. Make sure, kalau di writing itu, be sure to use your own words. Do not use memorized example. Kenapa? Do not memorize responses before the test. Ini yang tulis bukan saya. Ini saya quote from the TOEFL official guidebook. Do not memorize responses before the test, especially ones that you get from the internet. Coba deh you Google TOEFL Prep, itu pasti thousands of sites. Yeah, and they come with template. Gitu loh. Or from test preparation instructors like me. Okay? Who says that always say this, then say that, and then do that. Then you memorize it. It is not a good idea. Why? Because raters will know. Nah, mengingatkan sebagai contoh, ya, this is just an example. Memorize, coba deh. Ini you have already heard this, but I am now asking you to listen to it again. Kenapa dia high score? Kenapa dia low score? Coba kamu lihat dari is it mechanistic or not? Is it natural or not? Okay? Listen to this one.
I think the first year students should live on campus. That is because in the first year of especially the first semester, they will have a heavy load of subjects they have to follow, and that means that they have to be able to be on time in campus. And also, the first year of campus life needs them to be familiarized with buildings, with the surroundings, with the
Okay. I just wanted you to get that feeling, yeah? Coba deh, when you heard this person, was she consistent in her pace? Was she consistent in her pace? Yes or no? Pacing, you know, pace? Was she consistent or not? Okay. Did she sound natural? She only said, gak ada template lah itu. She only said, apa tadi at the beginning? Here, just listen to the beginning, the first few seconds.
I think the first year students should live on campus. That is because in the first year of especially the first.
Ya, I think first year students should live on campus. Walaupun dia tersendat-sendat juga. He only said that. Gitu. Nah, dengerin yang ini.
The policy of students to live in dormitories on campus is better according to me because it gives them time to know about the city, and it is more easy for them to live in dormitories on campus they don't face much problems. More
Look at the pacing. In which part of her response was faster, more fluent? In the middle or in the beginning? Okay, most of you answered in the beginning. Kenapa? Listen.
the policy of students to live in dormitories on campus is better according to me because it gives them time to know.
Itu template. That is a template. The policy of, ya tinggal copy paste saja kan, kalau pertanyaannya bukan first year student live on campus, kali first year student should pay meal plan. Ya kan tinggal di copy paste tuh. The policy of first year students having to pay or must purchase meal plan is better than having they can go off campus or they can eat on their own, something like that. Template. Lancar gimana? Di depan. Nah begitu habis template itu kan why gitu kan? What is your support? What is your details? Ya nggak ada template terkecuali first, then, last, udah. And the rest you have to think by your own. This is a memorized response. Yeah. And raters will automatically give a very low score. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Just to remind you. Nah. So, practice or stating, okay, because it's speaking and writing, practice stating and writing an opinion or a preference. Okay, state your opinion. Udah, gak usah panjang-panjang. I agree that first year students should pay for a meal plan. Because of 3 reasons. 1, blah, 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 blah. For example, ya kan? Nah, you will need to, of course, again, go search the internet because there are, again, thousands of expressions on how to state an opinion. Yeah. But here I'm giving you something that I think most of you or all of us need. These are expressions, transitional markers, because we need to show connections when we're speaking, giving our opinion, or when we are writing. Okay? So words that qualify, words that emphasize. I certainly agree. I agree with the idea that everybody should be honest. Indeed. Okay. Yeah. To emphasize on something, to illustrate, for example, next, such as, contrast. All right. You can take a screenshot from this or you can browse your own resources. But these are what help you. Okay? Okay. And now we're going to practice. Nah, gimana sih supaya kita itu fluent gitu ya? Fluent in giving opinions and making choices. This is for your listening. This is for your speaking, which you need to make a choice between 2 options, right? Mulai every day, I always tell my students, every day you are making choices from the day you wake up. What am I going to have for breakfast? What am I going to wear today? You open your closet. Want to wear blue, green, yellow, black? Right? You make choices every day, every minute in your life. Now, you practice. When you make a choice, you practice. You practice giving yourself 10 seconds. Why am I going to wear red today? Just out of practice, just for 10 seconds, think. Because my background is very, very full, colorful already. So I need something that's solid. Gitu kan? Solid color. It could be white, could be black. Oh, why not red? This is the last day. So I will still feel enthusiastic. Red is the color of energy. Practice, practice, and practice. Why? Reasons, the support. Okay? You can do very simple things like, do I prefer movies on TV or movies at the theater? Do I want to watch Netflix, or do I think that the theater is always a better place, not Netflix? Okay? Traditional food or exotic food? Outdoor sports or indoor sports? City life or country life? Sciences or the arts? What do I prefer? Ya. Nah, contohnya di sini, some people believe that students should immediately go on to college after completing high school. Others believe that students should take a year or more off between high school and college. Cuti belajar. Believe it or not, my daughter asked me that when she graduated high school. She was saying, Mom, can I take a leave? And I go, what? What leave? Can I just take a leave from studying? Because she doesn't feel that she wants to study again, go to college straight away. Yeah. Of course, being Indonesian, I said no. But remember, other cultures do support decisions like this. Okay? Now, which approach do you think is better for students interested in getting a college degree? Understand the question dulu ya. Which approach do you think is better for students interested in getting a college degree? There is a specific law for whom? For students interested in getting a college degree. Should they go straight to college after completing high school, or should they take a year off? We're not asking, we're asking your opinion, but we're not going to assess whether your opinion is right or wrong. Yeah. So now I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Misalnya, you agree, gitu kan, to go to, they have to go straight, gitu. Atau you agree that they can take 1 year off lah sebelum go to college. Okay? So what you need to do in 10 seconds is the benefits. List down. Ini benefits from waiting. Ya. Berarti this is if someone agrees that students can take their, what is that? A year off. Benefits from waiting. Coba 10 detik benefits from waiting, not going straight to college, itu apa sih kira-kira? Just write it down quickly. I'm not going to ask you to write it in the chat box, but just on your own. 10 seconds, yeah? Go. Okay, guys, stop. That's the 10 seconds. Why do you think I gave you 10 seconds? Masih ingat nggak? Kenapa? Kenapa ini kalau practice ini 5 seconds and this one is 10 seconds. Kenapa coba? You still remember? In the speaking, yeah, in speaking, it means that, okay, in speaking, it means that you have 15 seconds, right? You have around 15 seconds for each of the speaking tasks to prepare. So you practice on how to prepare in such a short time. Yeah. Benefits from waiting. Kali-kali you also have this on your notes. Student burnout. Look up the word burnout. Can think about what the student wants to study. Mau jadi apa ya? Mau study apa ya? Okay. Can get a job. And maybe because they get a job, they can also get some money to support their studies later on when they do enter college, right? And to learn some responsibilities, that honesty is the best policy. Berarti dia setuju gitu ya. The first sentence sudah bang your stance. Jangan muter-muter ya, Indonesians. Okay. Honesty is the first and foremost quality expected from the leader. Dia jelasin lagi tuh. It is most valued to a leader because it is the gateway for inspiration and trust. Dia mulai mengurai. Kenapa honesty itu gateway for inspiration and trust, right? Honesty is important to become a real and effective leader. Terus dia ngomong lagi, effective leader. It makes you become an effective leader. A good connection will always be built up, okay, between the leader and his peers if there is honesty. Oh, sekarang kita bicara mengenai connection, okay, between leader and peers. Berarti dia mengakhiri bahkan dengan leads to better and more productive relationship. Jadi hubungan dengan the peers or maybe other people. But di sini dengan peers, ya. Okay, so ada gateway for inspiration and trust, right? So I would expect, if I see this as an opening paragraph, the bun here, I would expect that the second paragraph would be something about gateway for inspiration and trust. Second paragraph. The third paragraph would be something about it will make you a real and effective leader. And of course, the fourth paragraph would be about good connection with peers. Itu kan? Yeah. Okay. This is, remember, how you structure your essay. And what's at the end? Yang terakhir apa dong? What is the last paragraph? Hello? Anyone? What will be the last paragraph here? Because this is hamburger. Remember the hamburger? You have bun and then you have bun again. A summary, a conclusion. Yeah. Yeah. So that means the last paragraph will be hampir sama dengan ini ya isinya ya. Mengulang kembali. You are restating what you have stated here. Mirip banget dengan ini. Kalau ini to introduce, this is to conclude. Okay? Great. Just a reminder. Nah, sekarang integrated. Santika, can I have about 5 more minutes, Santika?
Yes, sure, Ibu. We don't have a lot of questions today. Mungkin nanti later on. So continue, Bu. Thank you.
Okay. So this is the last task that I'm reminding you of, the integrated task. Sama ya. Sama loh. Speaking sama writing itu sama. Integrated. Bedanya kalau di speaking, you can have only lectures, you hear conversation, and then you have to like tell what's happening and the opinion of one of the people who are having a conversation. Itu kan? Ya, jadi integratednya di mana? In speaking is listening, and baru speak. Itu kan? So, listening and reading, and then speak. Right? Atau reading saja, and then speak. Okay? But in writing is always listening, reading, and then write. Okay? That's just a major difference. But this can also be turned into, ini juga bisa dianggap misalnya bukan integrated. Ini kebetulan integrated writing. It can also be an integrated speaking. Bedanya biasanya in integrated speaking, the passage or the reading is more likely to be shorter than those that are given in the integrated, those that are given in the writing ya, in the integrated writing. Reading passage-nya, kenapa? Ya karena you cannot read, they will not give you that much time because it's speaking kan. You only have 1 minute to speak. Right? Okay. Nah, so this is integrated writing, tapi anggaplah ini juga bisa menjadi integrated speaking. You will see this, a passage, then you're going to hear a lecture about the same topic, but maybe more elaborating what has been written here, or maybe contradicting, right? And then you're going to have to write or given time to plan and write 20 minutes, right? And typically an effective response will be 150 to 225 words. What do you need to write about? Summarize the points made in the lecture. Komandannya adalah lecture. Explaining how the points made in the lecture itu cast doubt or contradicts the points made in the reading. Itu ya. Okay. So you have remembered this. Now let's try to do it. When we read, kan kita udah bilang, when we read, we take notes. When we take, dan kita berinteraksi dengan the paragraph that we read. And you're going to be given like 3 minutes. Kan? 3 menit biasanya untuk membaca. I'm not going to give you all this time because ini hanya contoh. Ya. Tapi kalau yuk kita baca aja cepet-cepet in meaningful chunks, right? Jadi semua tadi yang kita bicarakan di reading fluency itu we apply it here also. Jangan kalian lihat ini section 1 begini, section 2 begini, section 3. No. It's going to be integrated. Everything is going to be applied when you're doing the different sections. Oke, kan tadi ini untuk reading. Ya mari kita aplikasikan when we do this. Reading in chunks. In many organizations, perhaps the best way to approach certain new projects, jadi kita ngomongin the best way to approach certain new projects. So this is one subject, right? Is to assemble a group of people into a team. Oh, now we're talking about team to do projects. Having a team of people attack a project offers several advantages. Oh, we're talking about advantages of people work a team doing project. Itu kan? Itu your mental. You have as you read, you have to make that conclusion. Ya, make sense of the text. Oke. Advantages-nya apa dong? First, ini pasti kan kita bicara kalau udah begini. First of all, advantages, right? First of all, a group of people has a wider range of knowledge, expertise, and skills. Yeah. 5 heads are better than 1. Knowledge, expertise, and skills. Okay. Also, you can first cari time marker. Also, because the number of people involved in the greater resources, because of the number of people involved and the greater resources they possess, then this group can, of course, work more quickly. So, itu udah, oke, ingat-ingat tadi kan, you write down. Advantage-nya siapa? 1, more expertise, skills, and knowledge. 2, work more quickly. Okay. 3, is there a 3? Okay, more quickly in response to the task and can come up with highly creative solutions. So 3, highly creative solutions, right? That's what you do when you read. You interact with the text, put your thoughts down, put what's in the text, what's important on paper. That's note taking. Ask this question. Okay. Akhirnya, tapi di sini coba dibaca. This is because, ini kan, sometimes creative, tadi kan creative, number 1 is nih, wider range of, have wider range of this. Number 2 is work more quickly. Number 3 is come up with highly creative solutions. Di sini ditulis, sometimes these creative solutions come about because a group is more likely to make risky decisions. Oh, bisa kreatif mereka. Kenapa? Because group of people are more likely to make risky decisions than individuals. And why do they have the courage to take the risk, gitu ya, to make decisions that are not popular? Why? Because the responsibility, this is because the group spreads responsibility. It's not my responsibility alone, but it's my group's responsibility. So, no single individual can be held accountable if the decision turns out to be wrong. Ya kalau salah, ya salah rame-rame lah kita. You share the responsibility, share the burden, gitu. Oke? Dah. Anggaplah kita sudah membaca itu and you have something like this in your notes. Yuk, ini terakhir dari saya. So how do you put this in your notes? Ini in order nggak ya notes-nya? I already gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it is not in order. So you need to sequence that correctly, right? In terms of from the more general to the specifics. Can we organize this? Who wants to organize this? Can we organize it, please? Okay. We just try to organize it. What would be the most general notes here, words here? Okay. So you can put 4, right? Yeah, itu general ya. So we are talking about, the paragraph 1 is talking about advantages of teams doing projects in organization. Ingat, when you take notes, you need to also use your own abbreviation. Ya, karena kita nggak mungkin nulis semua-mua. So you need to have some kind of system. It's your own system. Kalau saya organization ya org. Okay, project udah PRJ deh. Okay, terus dari 4, that's the very general one. And then which ones go below? Kayak mungkin ini adalah topik besarnya. Sub-subnya mana? What are the subs? Number 2, number 3, number 5, atau number mana? Saya udah kasih clue tuh. Number 1. Okay. What else? Number 1. Go to the second. This is the second sub, yeah. Sorry, the first sub. The topic is advantages. Then the first sub, we have number 1. number 3, terus number 5, number 1, number 3, number 5, and then what about number 2 and number 6? Where does that belong? Okay, somebody already said. So number 2 and number 6 has something to do with come up with the creative solution. That is the sub. Get it? Okay. So this is how it should look like. Your notes, look at the indented space. And this is here. Tentunya silahkan saja nanti diisi-isi lagi ya di bawah-bawah ini kalau perlu. Di dalam ini ada apa? Di dalam ini ada apa? Kalau di sini sudah ditulis. Dalamnya ada ini dan ini adalah bagian dari the spread responsibility and accountability. Okay? Ya. This is from the first paragraph. Because that's from the first paragraph, so you should have something also for the second paragraph, right? Something like this. Ini bukan advantages of teams loh. Dari sini udah jelas nih. Taking part in group process can be very rewarding for members of the team. Berarti the advantages not for the team, but for the members. Okay? And then you can make your own, notes. And remember, these notes, kenapa disusun begini? It will become your outline for your writing. Okay? Got it? Ingat ya? I'm sure you remember this. All right. So, because it is integrated, and when you make a T chart here, it means that what you hear, siap-siap, what you hear in the listening is contradictory to the reading, right? But if you hear the listening is not contradictory, you will probably continue with this. Ya, pasti akan ada lagi di bawahnya, ada lagi di bawah sub ini. Because usually if the listening does not contradict, it's going to give more explanation about all this, right? But at the end of the day, you are going to have, at the end of the day, you're going to have an outline. Itu aja. Ya, an outline. And this outline makes your hamburger, makes up the ingredients of your hamburger. Okay? This is ingredient 1. This is ingredient 2. Maybe we have 3 things. Ingredient 3. Okay? Don't forget the top bun and the bottom bun. In speaking, sama. Bedanya, you talk about this. In writing, you write about this. But this is what you need to make your life easier. Okay. Now I'm going to go to resources. Yeah. Semua resources, the ones that I gave you, most of them are taken from the resources that's in ets.org. Remember to go to the page, all right, where you have the TOEFL iBT resources here on the navigation plane here. You have on the left side, if you click resources, this will come up. Remember scoring guides, rubric, and rubric for the TOEFL speaking and writing, yeah. Okay. And when you click, prepare for the test, because I'm sure this is what you're looking for, okay. One of the preparation of the test is the TOEFL Practice Online. Okay. TOEFL Practice Online is close, right, to the real TOEFL. and you're going to be scored. Bedanya kan kalau yang tadi pakai interaktif on the website kan you only see what's wrong, which of your answers are correct and wrong. But with the TOEFL practice online, it gives you authentic test questions the same way you see them at the test center. You will receive scores within 24 hours, yeah, with performance feedback on all the 4 skills. Remember that you need to know your strengths and your weaknesses. Take the test. You can take the test at home because this is licensed, okay? School or wherever there's an internet connection 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Gitu. You can choose from volumes that include complete test, half test, or speaking test. All right? Only. Mau complete test, mau speaking and hanya the half test means you want the speaking and the writing only, gitu, or you only want just one section. All right? Now, for this, we have a special rate for your TPO for those of you who are joining our program at Adamerica here. And this is valid, okay? The rates, the special rates are valid from March, during the month of March 2020. And you can contact me. This is my email address. Just write me a letter or just say, ma'am, I'm interested, blah, 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 okay, to get the top special rates, the TPO top special rates, yeah. And you can also contact my staff, yeah, for that, all right? Okay, so just screenshot that and don't forget, of course, you have the free ones that are on the internet as well, ets.org, okay? And a thank you from me. Thank you very much. Remember that this is not the end, but this is just the beginning of your journey to build your skills. Okay? Thank you. Do we have any questions, Santika, that we need to discuss?
Hi, Ibu. Thank you so much for wrapping this whole session up. It is really enjoyable. A lot of people actually come back. Jadi aku ngeliatin angka participants and
Okay.
we retain at least 100 plus attendees in Zoom alone. Jadi ini nggak termasuk orang-orang yang nonton acara kita di YouTube, Twitter, Instagram Live, and everything else. So just a heads up to all of you if you guys have difficulties watching from Zoom or you guys don't prefer to have a chat box karena mungkin gampang distracted atau gimana, you can always watch our event in other platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and you can still ask questions by sending them to the comment box kalau di platform lain, but in Zoom it's only in the chat box. Okay. We have only a few questions, Bu, so I am not in the rush to cover them. Most of them are kind of like recap questions. Kayaknya kita udah pernah bahas dan segala macam. So guys, tadi Ibu Hafil shared the TPO that you have to pay, of course. Jadi kenapa kita kayak kalau kamu interested, you can go email Bu Hafil or Bu Hafil's staff, Mas Lutfi, is because Bu Hafil is really supportive of us. Dia kayak ngasih semacam promo code yang khusus untuk kayak Education USA atau mereka with the series and everything. But since it's a berbayar, we just leave it to you for you. If you need to contact them, gitu. Because as you know, our platform is non-transactional and semuanya gratis di sini. And you can definitely, like Bu Hafil said, you can use the free practice test di ets.org juga. So you can use that, and then if you feel the need to have something more serious, mungkin yang kayak biar tahu timing dan segala macamnya udah auto ya dari sistemnya. Karena kalau practice test yang free itu setahu aku time-nya kita harus kayak watch ourselves and everything like that. So that's that. If you need more, then you maybe can consider to purchase. But if not, then you don't have to. Okay? And you can always find other source. Tapi balik lagi aku selalu recommend ke official website ts.org because that's the most reliable one secara types of questionsnya ya Bu. Karena kalau kadang third party dia bilangnya ini practice test TOEFL, contohnya kayak pertanyaannya bisa kecampur sama maybe other English standardized test luar sana. Okay? Alright, so let's go to the questions, Bu. We only have a few. Oke, ini dari Cory. As usual, dia sangat attentive and dia nanya, do we need to read journals such as kayak Scopus kayak gitu? Karena tadi Ibu suggest yang di awal-awal kayak National Geographic and everything like that, which is very interesting. Jadi kayak reading journal itu recommended apa enggak, and how can that help us if we are going to practice for TOEFL sih, Bu?
Okay, because again, Cory, I think it's again getting familiar with the academic text, yeah? Getting familiar with the structure of the sentences, right? The passages, and how texts are written in an academic setting, okay? I get journals all the time because I'm subscribing, nggak sengaja gitu, tiba-tiba kok jadi saya dapet, terus I forgot I'm just subscribing to something, you know, academic apalah gitu ya. But then so now I got those in my email. So it's like journals of people gitu loh, Santika. I got that on my email, and I can download it for free.
Wow.
Iya. Jadi mungkin itu past paper ya, yang kadang-kadang kan juga some of the authors, some of the writers, researchers itu memang mau men-share without, I mean publication dia mau gitu share, right? Without having to purchase or subscribe to it, ya. Jadi Cory, and it depends on where you are now. Meaning, are you a graduate student gitu loh? You're aiming for your doctoral degree, atau kan ada juga di sini yang baru mau postgraduate gitu ya.
Yes.
Ya, jadi tipe jurnalnya Scopus dan lain-lain itu it depends on where you are now and where are you going. Kalau you're taking your doctoral ya udah pastilah jurnal yang the international published journal gitu kan. Okay, so I think that's my answer.
I do agree, Bu. So, kita balik lagi kayak kamu ini perlu buat kemana pertama. Tapi kan keep in mind TOEFL iBT ini dibuat untuk semua level of studies, right? Jadi anak SMA bisa take TOEFL iBT for their score to buat dipakai untuk apply ke US universities, right? And master applicants to PhD applicants to use TOEFL iBT. So it is not the requirement that you need to understand complicated publications in order to score amazing high score in TOEFL iBT. So back to take it as improving your English. So whether or not you need to read publications or not, it will be depends on your need. Okay. And if you are into STEM field, if you're in the STEM field, you can try nature.com. They do have like some publications, or if you want to try to publish your paper. I stumbled into that website from my advisee yang datang kayak, I found some, opportunities there and everything. And that's great. So I'm sharing that to all of you now. If you are into STEM field, science and everything like that, you can try reading there. Maybe it will help you to understand more scientific terms there. Okay, next question. From Reza, do we need to use idiom to increase the score? I would say go back to the rubric, but Bu Hafil, in short, gimana?
Go back to the rubric, yes, go back to the rubric, ya. Idiomatic expressions are, of course, as long as you do it correctly, as long as it is in context, gitu aja sih, ya. Jadi kadang-kadang kita suka pakai for the sake of kita pengen pakai sesuatu yang canggih, ya, tapi ternyata konteksnya tidak tepat.
Oke, I agree. Selama dipakai dengan benar ya. So yes, selama dipakai dengan benar, intinya jangan maksain pakai tahu-taunya it's not correct. Okay?
Dan natural aja kan, pakainya karena emang itu perlu kita pakai gitu ya. It's not just merely we want to use it to show off our language gitu, but that's the right phrase, the right term. I need that to explain my reason. gitu.
Yeah. Okay, understood. All right. Next one from Pinurba. Hi, Bu Hafil. In the daily practice of writing or speaking, who can we use as a assessor to assess our score? Because this is not just true or false questions. Please give some tips.
Yourself, the rubrics.
Sebenarnya kalau kamu ngomongin writing or speaking, if you are writing or crafting your essay for the U.S. University's application, you need to write statement of purpose or personal essay or personal statement. Anything that requires you to write an essay for the application. And if you want to come in for a review with us, with me or Christina, then we will be speaking in English in the one-on-one advising session. So that's where you can learn to speak English with us and listening together while getting your essay reviewed too. So you kind of like get everything. So that's my, kita nggak bisa nge-assess kamu punya tulisan buat practice TOEFL iBT, but the essay is going to be very useful for your application.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps.
And that's when the rubric comes in, ya.
Yes.
Hopefully you remember. Ini siapa yang tanya tadi, Reza ya? Who was asking the question?
It was Pinurba. So
Pinurba.
Yes, when we talk about speaking atau pokoknya semua section di TOEFL iBT ya Bu, mau how to best score the section is looking at the rubric itu permintaannya apa aja sih? Gitu.
Look at the rubric and then look at the sample. Makanya ada juga kan in the resources itu ada the book ya, the official guide. In the official guide you are given some responses which like yang saya ambil biasanya. This is a 4, this is a 3, this is a 2, and this is a 1. Like it or not, you're just going to like, what is that? You're going to compare yourself. That's why record yourself, listen to yourself, hold on to the rubric, and compare tadi ke yang dapat high score tuh seperti apa, yang dapat low score seperti apa. Okay? That's the best that you can do if you're doing it independently on your own. Yeah?
All right. Next question is from Musa. He's new, so welcome. Dan dia kayak baru discover us on our last session. So again, guys, you can rewatch this whole series. Not only the series. To be precise, all of our past virtual events, not only Education USA at America punya events, tapi also at America's events. So I will be sharing the YouTube link in the chat box. But again, it's youtube.com/AT America with double A in the end. So you can rewatch anything. Kalau tadi kamu miss email yang Ibu Hafil share, you can rewatch that and pause it and then type it however you need it. Okay. Terus ini pertanyaannya adalah, is restating the thesis statement the same as stating exactly words by words? How do I train myself to better construct the restatement? Do we have to use the exact, word by words? No?
No, of course not.
No.
Restating means context, and the content. So what do you need to develop is your skills in paraphrasing.
Okay. Yes, paraphrasing is important. So you can, intinya lebih kayak apa yang kamu dapetin dari mungkin kayak phrase atau reading atau listening tadi. Jadi it's very hard to remember like exact words by words. So when you restate, it doesn't have to be like that. Okay. From Nadia. Bu Hafilia, the usual time frame for speaking section is around 45 seconds. Will it affect my point in negative way if I finish my speech even before the time nearly ends?
Again, Nadia, itu again Santika, just to remind all of you again, kenapa 45 seconds itu? Because that's already been like research, I think. Just like writing, kenapa sih harus 225? Kenapa? Kalau 100, kenapa? Masalahnya, if you write only 100 words, if you speak only in 20 seconds, gitu ya. The probability, ini probabilitas ya. Probability is that you do not elaborate enough.
Right.
Sama kalau nulis ya, gitu kan. Tadi tuh seru tuh about the organizations misalnya. Tapi kamu cuma nulis 100 gitu, 100 itu cuma 10 lines loh. Right? Itu udah pasti kemungkinan, udah tahu gitu pasti nih kamu nggak elaborate, meaning it's your topic development is not very substantial gitu, it's not very elaborate ya. Makanya diminta di angka segitu, karena angka segitulah dimana dianggap cukup untuk you develop what you based on what you hear and what you read in a concise, udah concise, but of course informative still.
Yes. And in speaking, I think the pace is also important, ya Bu, and that determines how long you are talking. So some people have a very fast pace when they talk in English, and even if after they elaborate, like what Bu Hafil said, you still
Finish.
have time left because you talk so fast, right?
Really?
But
Well,
again,
okay.
you need to be clear, concise, and within that 45 seconds.
But it doesn't matter if you finish in 30 seconds, right? But again, everything is elaborated well. All the things that you should be expressing are there. It's fine. There is no penalty.
Yes. There is
Itu
no
aja.
penalty to
that you finish,
have
you
time
finish
remaining.
earlier.
Yes. There's no penalty as long as your answer is excellent.
Yeah.
Then you'll get good points. All right. I hope that wraps up our last session. Definitely not the last series with Bu Hafil. So for those of you who want to have this again, just stay tuned. We will definitely have more in the future. And thank you so much, Ibu Hafil, for your dedication as well. 6 series with us your weekend and everybody else's weekend here too, right? So I look forward to meet all of you, or not many of you, in our advising sessions. So we do our advising session virtually in Zoom, and it's one-on-one. Unless you guys are interested to make it a group advising, you can make one appointment and then bring your friends. Okay. We will be sharing the link for you to make appointments with us, but it is calendly.com/educationusaat America. Okay, just go there and you can choose what you need from us. But I do recommend if you're a first timer, sign up for the 30 minutes instead of the 1 hour long session, because then we can get to know you better before helping you with other things. All right, that's all from me, and I will give it back to Adam Marketing. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Bu Hafil, Kak Santika, and also Kak Christina, and our audience who have been joining us on the TOEFL iBT intensive course. We would love to have you again in another session. So earlier in this event, we had a trivia. The question was, students can take the TOEFL iBT in the following ways, except for, and the answer is D. You cannot take TOEFL iBT test on paper at home. So shout out to @Intan Panjaitan from Instagram for answering correctly. Thank you so much for everyone who has participated to our question of the day. Don't forget to tune in next time and catch a chance to get a live shout out from us. Now, you may be wondering, how can I develop an awesome idea with a place like this? Very easy. You can send your event proposals to us by visiting our website at www.america.org.id, select Create a Program, and go to Collaborate with us. All the event proposals will be reviewed, and your event might be featured here soon. Also, while you're on our website, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter to get our weekly event updates. Well, that wraps this episode. It's been fun. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye. You can follow us. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at AT America. You can get fun content, giveaways, and so much more. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, thanks for joining us. My name is Aninda, and see you next time. Bye bye.